to Genealogy Adventures, and I'm Brian.
And this is Donya. How you guys doing today? We have a great show. Another heartwarming, especially given all of the things that's going on in California. Our hearts go out to all of the folks in California, and we just
Mhm.
pray, the best for everybody in the long run. Um, keep fighting is all that we can say to that.
As you are fighting on the right side of things. And as always, thank you for spending the next hour with us, no matter how you tune in or where you're watching us from. Um, and again, if you're watching us from YouTube or Facebook, please do feel free to ask questions or share your thoughts. And as
Yes,
Sonia
and
said,
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
yes, that part too. We're going to get straight into
That
it
part too.
because we do have some great guests this week.
We do. Please welcome everybody. Jen and Leland from Relative Race. You guys know this is our series.
Welcome to the house. Welcome
Yay!
to the house.
Steve Green in the house. I know. I did something special for y'all because I did for you, and I've never done this for anybody. When I did the marketing promo, I made all of the letters green.
Oh,
Well, in most instances, in most instances it's blue, but this time or a different color. It's more blue. And this time I was like, I'm gonna make these green. And
well,
just
thank
made
you. We'll take it.
But thank you so much for being on the show and just joining us and sharing your journey with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to.
Yeah, so let me introduce you guys. Jen is Leland's mom. She says, I'm Jennifer Kelly, 53 years old, and I live in Elk Ridge, Utah, with my amazing husband, Chris, and my two daughters. I have 4 kids with their ages ranging from 25 to 15. My husband and I own and operate a plumbing company where we employ 6 people, 5 of which are family members. That's beautiful. I grew up in San Jose, California, but love Utah and consider it home. I enjoy crafting, gardening, and history. I am also a true crime aficionado. I love doing anything with my family, whether it's being outdoors, playing games, or just hanging out and visiting. I've always been interested in family history and putting together the puzzle of my family. And then Leland, which is Jennifer's daughter, she says, my name is Leland Kelly. I'm 20 years old and have lived my whole life in Utah. I did 2 years as an apprentice in plumbing and used that knowledge to work as a bookkeeper at my parents' plumbing company, Kelly's Rescue Plumbing. I am engaged to my best friend, Ethan. Oh, congratulations. And we'll be getting this. Yay! I enjoy learning about my relatives and what they've gone through, as well as understanding what their lives were like. So, welcome, guys. And now I get why you're into family so much. You live in Utah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that does have something to do with it.
Yeah, you live in Utah. You're right. It's smack dab in the middle of it. So, wow.
Absolutely. So, as Donnie is wearing her producer's hat and doing producery kind of things, I thought I would start the show just by asking, and I'm going to start with you, Jen.
Yeah.
What was it that brought you to Relative Race? What made you decide to apply to be an applicant?
Well, that's a funny story. So I didn't actually do it. I mean, we watched the show since, the first season. And I've loved it. My husband and I, especially the kids used to watch it with us, but they watch it separately. Anyway, but I always wanted to be on it. I thought that would be really cool, but sharing my story, I don't know, that just felt very personable, and I didn't know if I could do that. But Leland decided to sign us up.
I don't remember signing us up at all. Apparently I did it. And they texted me around Christmas last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hey, would you like to, send us a video and, talking about your story. And then we just kind of kept moving up from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they then they ultimately told us, you're going to be on the show.
Mhm.
And we were kind of blown away because there had already previously been a mother-daughter team 2 seasons ago, season 13, from Utah.
Mhm.
And so we thought, they're not going to choose us.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was
We were
wild.
surprised. We were. But when she came to me asking, do you want to do the video? I mean, I was like, do I really want to share my whole story and be on camera and all that? But then I had actually looked for my birth mother to try and find some information for my health, especially because I think that was the biggest thing that I was worried about was interrupting someone's family, and being surprised, here I am. And that's the last thing I wanted to do. But as things progressed and we kept moving up, I just knew we were supposed to continue on with this adventure and um, just find out the information that, it was very important that I find out and know. And this was a time to do it. If I had waited any longer, I was worried that, I wouldn't be able to see my parents. That was a big thing on my mind throughout the whole thing. So, yeah.
But getting that text, I mean, Leland, you must have looked at your phone like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I was like, at the time I was helping my grandma set up for our Christmas party, and I was like, wait a second, grandma, relative race just texted me. I don't know how they got my number or what's happening, but they just texted me. And
So you really forgot? You just forgot?
I don't remember at all.
Yeah. So my husband says that, and I kind of remember that she had done it for my birthday, but then forgot to tell me. And like, so yeah.
But I don't remember that at
Yeah.
all.
Man, that was
Oh my goodness.
one heck of a surprise.
Yeah, it was. When she told me, I was like, wait, why? How? Yeah. So anyway.
So actually, this is the first time either Donnie or I would have asked this question to relative race contestants. So then what was that conversation like between the two of you? Because Leland, you're having to remember that you did something that you forgot, a good thing, a brilliant thing that you forgot, explaining it to your mom. What was the conversation like when you decided that you really were going to go and just do the video and try to partake in the show?
I don't know. What was it?
Honestly, I don't really remember.
I kind of
It's like,
remember, just coming around to the fact that, we should do it.
Yeah.
This would be a really neat experience, and especially to share it together. I thought that was really awesome that she would even think to do that. That she wanted to find, family, and that she wanted me to find, that she was concerned about me finding family. So,
Well, and growing up, I always knew that because I mean, my mom had reached out to, try to find her family. And so I knew that she wanted to meet her family at some point, and I knew that that was kind of a spot in her heart that was kind of empty, and so when I got the text, we both were like, okay, sure, we're not going to get it. But there was that hope that,
yeah.
that was still there, that maybe it could
Yeah.
happen and maybe they'll choose us.
Yeah.
and Jen, for you, um, as part of your journey trying to discover your biological roots, because you had a wonderful relationship with your adopted family, um, what state did you begin that journey in, and how easy or difficult was it to access your adoption records?
Yeah, so I knew, obviously I knew where I was born, and so I did reach out to Colorado, and I was grateful because it hadn't been very long since they had opened the opportunity for adoptees to get their original birth certificates. And so I was grateful for that. And so I was anxiously, waiting for it to come in the mail, and they sent me the wrong one. And so I had to, I was like, what? Oh, this isn't me. Okay. So anyway, we had to send it back, and they sent me the right one. And so, yes, it had my birth mother's name on it. And so my mom and I actually went on Facebook and looked for, anything we could find, because we knew she was from a small town, originally in Sterling. And we knew that her last name wasn't very common. And so we were able to, we thought we tracked her down, but we weren't sure, we're amateurs, at it. And so, so that was pretty exciting. But yeah, getting my birth certificate was not very difficult at all.
That's
So
good.
I am really, really
You don't
happy to
hear
hear
that a
that.
lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
you don't hear that a lot. You really
Mhm.
don't. That's
Exactly.
excellent.
Yeah, I was grateful.
or the fact that it didn't appear to
So
be
what if
a closed adoption.
right?
Yeah, it was a closed adoption, but they had opened it up for
Oh,
for
okay.
for adoptees
right.
to obtain, because it had been so many years, that I was able to get it. So yeah.
Oh, they tried to slick tip make you feel old, huh? Because it was so many. We not old because we're the same age. How dare they?
It's like, oh, you're decades old. We'll get to
Yeah,
you.
you can just do it. It doesn't matter. No, but
Yeah. You're gonna die soon. Better hurry.
So okay, let's get into the show. There was, before you guys got on the show, they asked you to talk about yourselves, what it is you want to know, what you want to find, and things like that. And one of the things that really grabbed me about you guys was the genetic thing. And because Brian and I are also genetic researchers as well as genealogists, that was very interesting to me, because I hold on to my traits. I pay for the traits. I do all of that stuff. And I look at those different things. When you were doing your research, did you ever find anyone within your family that kind of had the same thing? Did you get that answer that you was looking for?
So, well, kind of. I mean, my birth mother, Diane, she has hair loss. It's not exactly the same thing.
Hers is a
we
little
thought
bit
it
more
was.
common than
Yeah,
ours is.
hers is a little bit more connected to thyroid issues that she's had since she was really young. But the fact that I have a mom that wears a wig too, and so we
Yeah.
talk back and forth. I mean, and it's been fun because my mom and Diane they talk on Facebook, and I think recently my mom sent her a picture of, oh, you should try this hair, you should try this wig. And so she did, and I think she bought it. And so it's
Oh
just
my
like fun,
goodness.
yeah, for them to come together and talk about it, because my mom knows it because of me and Leland, and and then yeah, for her to reach out and give her ideas on different wigs, it's been fun. But as
That's
far as,
wonderful that they have a great relationship
yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
As far as her being exactly like ours is monolithic. It's so rare. It's like not very many people have it. And as I've reached out over the years on Facebook or just online, it's a lot of times it's people in other countries. It's just very,
Spread out.
yeah, it's spread out, and it's in one family.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and it
So
typically
it like
was
skips
the
and jumps generation.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my oldest has it. My oldest son has it. And then my second son doesn't. He has a full head of gorgeous hair. And then
And then
there's
I have
Leland.
it.
And then my youngest daughter, Taylor, she has a thick head of hair as well. So, yep.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it skips.
So we would love to figure it out because when I was little, my mom, when she took me to the doctor, she was like, her hair isn't growing. They opened up my records and actually said that I had a great aunt that had the condition, but we don't know who that great aunt is. Yeah.
So you
So
don't know which side?
no, no. Yeah,
So
and
you're
as
still looking.
yeah, I'm still looking. So as I asked like different family members, they hadn't ever heard of it. So they wouldn't tell us, of course, who it was because it was a closed adoption. But yeah, so the mystery continues.
All right.
I'm
That's cool.
I'm going to
Go
say
ahead.
that one of the powerful things for me about the show, and it was for all the teams, um, was just when you actually met birth parents. None of
Mhm.
And
you
you
were
were at
forgotten. None of you were forgotten, whether you were adopted or fostered. None of the contestants were forgotten. And
No.
I am not one of life's criers. I'm just not. But every time of those reunion scenes kind of happened and that message came out, I've always thought about you. I always wanted the best for you. And I'm just so happy to hear that you had a great relationship with your adopted family. I would actually get a little choked up
Yeah.
because it was just such a
I,
beautiful thing to see
Oh
and to hear.
I'm a
What
sucker.
did that
I
mean?
cry all the
yeah. Me too.
Me too.
It was weird because
time.
we didn't
This
cry
show
for
and right, and Jen, you know, because you and I, we're on the same wavelength when it comes to relative race. So you've been there from the beginning to the end to your season, and you already know. You saw the switch, you saw the change, you saw the groups going from one extreme to then being these types of people. So you were already ready for all of that kind of stuff. Me, I'm a sucker. I look at every last one of the daggone teams and I'm like, okay, which one of y'all gonna get me? This year it was Team Black. And but then all of a sudden, I don't know, each one of y'all had a piece for me. Like when you met your mom, I was so excited. I knew that was your dad, first of all, first show.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know it, that's my son, that's my dog Bruno. But first show, I knew when he opened up the blind, I'm like, yep, that's her daddy. She meeting daddy from the beginning. But when you met your mom,
Oh,
that's the
Oh,
one
it
that
was
threw me.
powerful.
that was
Yeah.
because I knew that she had, because of Facebook, I knew that if, that was the right person, that she lived in Arizona. And so as we got closer and then we were in Arizona, I was like, oh, please, please let it be her. I wanted to meet her so bad. And so yeah, that day
It
was
was
like
powerful.
it was an amazing experience. And then to have her say, why did you wait so long? you know, um, and honestly, the cool thing is that she told us later that her and her husband, he's passed away now. He's been gone for about 15 years, but he had wanted to move. They lived in kind of a small home. And she's like, no, if I move, she won't be able to find me. And so they stayed in that home their whole, her whole life, her whole married life, just in case I came looking.
Wow,
So
that is so moving and so
that's sweet.
impactful.
Mhm.
Yeah, she is like a beautiful, beautiful person inside and out.
But
So,
that first episode actually got me on the phone to Donnie the very next day because I can't remember in any other season, in any other episode, someone meeting one of their biological parents
I
on day
know.
one.
Believe me, we were shocked.
We were really surprised.
Watching that episode, I see my face and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it because it never happens,
Yeah.
And I was sure it was an uncle just because, you don't meet a parent day one. So yeah, that was a real shock for both of us. But a good, amazing shock because he
amazing.
is so cool. He is like the sweetest, nicest. I don't know, everything I would want in a dad. So
And everything I would want in a grandpa. I mean, because her biological, or sorry, her adoptive parents, they got divorced. And so I never met my adoptive grandpa on my mom's side. And so, I didn't have a grandpa, on that side. And so to get a grandpa day one was so powerful. And, and he jokes around like a grandpa should.
He's so fun.
And he, at one of the aunts told us a story, or somebody told us a story that they were at a funeral, and previously Grandpa Dale, he had cut off his finger, and so
he was doing some work.
Yeah, doing some kind of work, and he had sliced his finger right off, right? And so now there's no finger there, and so he was holding hands with
half of one.
Yeah, half of one, and so he was holding hands with somebody at this funeral, and he starts wiggling his finger. Just his little half finger, and it kind of freaked him out, and
made her laugh because she was feeling really sad because of losing this aunt.
So it was, that's what a grandpa should do, and so I'm just beyond excited to be able to have that.
Are you writing out Papa isms? You still writing them out?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man. So the other, probably a few weeks ago, I was in Walmart and I got a call and I'm like, oh, I don't recognize that number, So I took it and the man on the phone said, yeah, I was hoping to get a price on some sheet metal. And I was like, what? And I looked at my phone and it's from Sterling and I'm like, is this Dale? And he's like, yeah, I was trying to joke with you and, just get you and tease you. So he's full of those and he's just the coolest. Yeah. So just funny guy.
He seems like it.
Yeah.
Well, and when we were in the cemetery, it was cold that morning.
It was very cold.
I mean, during the day, we were dying of heat, especially doing those challenges. It was hard. But in the morning, it was cold and it was all shady. And so, yeah, he grabbed my hand and just like a dad would do.
Like it was nothing, but it meant something. He did it to me too. And he grabbed both my hands and kind of
put our fingers in there to get them warm.
And it meant something to us.
Yeah. And his hands are bigger than my hands.
Stop. Get me out here crying and looking all ugly and stuff. Because I did my ugly tears with, as well for you guys, for all of you at one point or another. I did my ugly tears for you with your mom. Did my ugly tears for Joni when she met both of her parents.
Oh, man. Wasn't that powerful? Yeah. That was so
and cool. I think my ugly tears for Kaylee actually came when she re-saw Ashley again. And I was like, girl, I feel you. I'm just so sad.
I even knew what was going to happen. And I still was like, oh.
Right.
And
I was like, oh, God, I know. It was just the day for her. So I was like, yeah, I feel you. And then David and Gabby, they just made, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Something about them. They just made
David, it was just like the beginning to the end. Like,
everything.
Yeah, everything. He's just the
coolest.
coolest.
They made me cry from beginning to end. They really did.
Yeah. They're all family. We're all we talk to them all the time. Yeah, we have a group chat and and Kaylee's coming to help us decorate for her wedding. So I don't know. We're very strong. All the teams were very close.
So let me ask you, since you are a relative race aficionado like myself, What outside of your own season? What
Okay.
was your favorite season?
Oh, that
Could
is
you?
really hard. Okay,
I
but
mean, you told me about season 12
yeah,
already.
I'm gonna have to say season 12 was one of
Really?
my very favorite. Yeah. Um, for them to meet their family, that they hadn't seen and to all come together with, I think they separated at like the courthouse
Yeah.
and then they all came together. And then, he's meeting his sister and then he
Oh,
gets
that was terrible.
no, it was his mom, wasn't it? And he gets a knock on
No, it
the
was the sister.
doors. But
It
wasn't
was
his
the,
sisters like at the door?
no. So he met his sister first,
Okay.
and then when
Oh,
he met the sister, that right there just took me out because they
oh,
were already, I'm on the ground crying, rolling. I'm just got my
oh
holding my dog. He looking at me like I'm a fool. But yeah, that right there. But when mom came, no,
Mm,
at the door is when the other sisters came, and
same.
the other sister did not know they were coming.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
that
Oh,
they were a whole show all by themselves. It was just
oh man.
it was crazy. And then they met mom, and then the sisters
Uh,
came and flew and met mom.
that's
But
right.
it was the sibling meeting that
Oh,
was just
that was
heartbreaking.
that
So
was just so
yeah,
sweet.
so do you think that there was any season that were similar to you guys as far as family was concerned? Because I saw the family camaraderie in season 15 with all of you.
I
And
don't I I have to say we like got the whole package.
We did.
I mean, our family is just amazing. They truly are. Their arms were open so wide and they were just so
Well,
loving to
and
begin with.
and especially like Dale when he heard the news that he had a daughter and that we were on the show and he would get to meet us, he didn't want to wait. He didn't
Yeah.
want to. I think it was 3 months that he had to wait, and
Uh-huh.
he was so excited that he did not want to wait at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
did they make them wait?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
because
did.
they had to make him wait because, they weren't ready to film. So, yeah.
Oh,
They had a
But
show to do. They had a
yeah,
show to do.
yep, exactly. So,
it's season 6 though. That's just like y'all.
Oh,
That's my
really?
season
that's
6.
my favorite season.
So you have to remind me of season 6 because sometimes I get
Season
off.
6 is with Team Black was Team Black and Red were probably like they were my favorite people. Like I make them my fan. I'm not even gonna lie, they my favorite people. And now I
Yeah.
can't think of their names, but it was I can't think of anybody's name now. Ray was Team Red, and
Okay.
Yes,
he
yes.
realized his mom. He saw somebody on one of the episodes. Somebody had lost their parent, and it crushed him. And because it
Okay.
crushed him so badly, he was like, I'm doing this, I'm getting this all wrong. And we actually interviewed, that was the first full season that we had interviewed. And they literally said from the moment they walked in the door, the first thing they did was they prayed as a group. And
Oh, that's
I'm
really
pretty certain you guys probably did something
yeah,
very
we
similar.
did.
Like I can see it.
Yeah.
You guys, team this season 15 and season
Mhm.
6 are definitely like without a doubt my favorite seasons. And you guys have this family camaraderie that you have going on that
Mhm.
you can really really see and feel how much you love each other outside of the family
Oh
that you just met.
Hmm.
And
In
it's
fact,
just it's beautiful.
yeah. Well, we always say to each other like that it was not an accident that we were all put together because it's not. I mean, I've learned so much from every one of them, different things that yeah, it was meant to be. And
I love it.
yeah, it's been a really neat experience. So, in fact, Team Blue, they got their ticket to go see any of their family members, because they won one of the challenges, or
Mhm.
yeah, that one night. And so they actually used their ticket to come to Utah to
To come to our premiere.
to come see the premiere, because because it is based in Utah.
Mhm.
Our producer, he has a theater here, and just a little theater that they show like 2 nights a week or something. And so he said, oh, I always play the a premiere if you guys want to invite friends. So of course we were like, hey, like, any of the teams want to come, because we'd love to have you. And so everyone was able to come except for Team Red. Yeah, we were really sad, but it was such a cool experience to have them here, and get to see Utah. So
That's beautiful. I
yeah,
have to come there.
they're really neat.
This is for both of you, but I'm going to start with you, Jen. You
Mhm.
from a rather sizable biological family. What was that like getting to learn about them and meet them and start the process of establishing those family bonds?
You know what? I kind of wondered how, if it would be awkward, and it just really wasn't. I mean, like, my sister and I, we talk at least once a week, and if we're not texting each other, and just getting to know each other. I mean, honestly, we just would, like, start with like the basics, like, okay, wait, so what's your favorite color? Like, so we're, like, da da da, just getting to know each other. I mean, it's just like long phone calls. Um, her and my cousin came for the premiere. And so, that was a fun weekend, just hanging out. We went to a couple of what are they called? Escape room. We went to an escape room, and of course ate a lot. And so just over all of those activities and stuff, I mean, just playing games with my husband, playing card games and staying up late and just talking, it just was so
Mhm.
natural. We just ask each other questions, and what were you doing at this time? I was doing this, da 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 da. And so yeah, and my dad, same thing. I mean, just talking to him. I talk to his wife all the time. And just, I don't know. I just consider that I have now 4 moms. My mother-in-law,
With
uh,
3 ants.
Lynette, got 3 aunts. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just easy, very easy.
Well, and
Wow.
for me, I was really hoping that we were going to have a big family. I was really hoping for cousins, because I have lots of cousins on my dad's side, but most of them I'm not super close with, because almost all of them live far away.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I was really hoping to have a cousin my age that I could, and I only have cousins my age that are boys, I think, except for one.
Yeah.
And
And
so
they
I was
big.
really, yeah, and so I was really hoping that I was going to find a girl cousin that was my age.
Mhm.
And I got 2 cousins. I got a boy and a girl, and I was so excited.
Yeah.
And of course, one of them lives in Hawaii, but and so it's been really fun. And me and Shayna talk quite a bit, and we're able to bond, and it's just been we've been so blessed to have a big family.
Yeah. Well, and
Brian
they're
and I
cool.
know
And
about their families.
Yeah.
oh, yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We come from very, very, very large. Brian and I are
Really?
cousins. Yeah, we come from
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. I didn't realize that.
yeah,
How cool.
yeah.
Okay.
We come from a very, very large family, so we
Oh,
know all about it. We found each other as researchers, so that's why
you
I'm very
did?
That's so cool.
Oh, how
yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
We
As a matter of
found each
fact,
other.
I was living in England at the time, and I'd been there for a while, and Donya just reached out, and she's like, "Hey, DNA cousin."
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so neat. Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
and we found out that we're cousins like what 7 or 8 different ways just out of one state. That's not including
Wow.
Just out of
anything
one
else.
county. Once we go
Yeah.
into other states, it's going to be more.
Huh.
That's
So that
crazy.
one, I'm saying that to say, don't feel discouraged about trying to figure out your genetics. It'll
Mm-hmm.
come.
Yeah.
It'll come, and you'll see it, and you'll get it, and you'll find it out, and you'll probably find out who that great aunt is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's not far. That's not far
No, it's
from
not. Yeah.
where you are as far as your DNA is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into the show part. Like what? Okay, so you found dad your first day. That I know was just overwhelming. After that, I think you found a cousin, or was it?
So it was the aunt's second.
That was the aunt's the second
Yeah.
day. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
they were such a blast. We
Oh,
could
they
have
were
stayed for.
they were so
They were
funny.
so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were.
They had a hard time whispering when we were doing our separate interviews. And so it was just so cute because they'd have to come back and say, okay, guys, you need to keep it quiet. And then it was just like, the noise every time you start to talk, like the jackhammer every time you start to talk. Yeah. So we would start our interview and they'd be like, okay, and go ahead. And then they would start whispering again in the other room. It was so funny. We loved them so much and just chatting with them. And yeah, we asked them, we're like, you guys, or Leland said, you guys remind me of the Golden Girls. And so we're like, okay, which one of you is Blanche? And they were like, Vicky. And they were so
Who
fun.
was Sophia? I feel like I know which one, but one of them was Sophia.
Oh, who do you think?
Nobody was Betty White. They were
No,
all
you got
very
Betty. My Aunt Betty, she was like, I'm not Betty White.
yeah. She's not Betty White.
Yeah.
None of them. They were definitely the other three. They were Sophia, Blanche, and Maud, whatever her real name. I know her as Maud. I just keep remembering her as Maud.
Yeah,
They're
I
all
don't
too
know.
sweet.
Yeah, they are.
Like Sophia.
Yeah, but somebody I can't remember which one it was, but one of them had a little bit of smarter mouth than everybody else.
Maybe
That might have been her. That's Sophia.
Yeah.
Tell her she's Sophia.
Yeah. I can see that a little bit, like, yes. Yeah, she's the coolest. But yeah, tell it how it is, kind of. Yeah.
That's Sophia.
Yeah.
That's Sophia. Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, she's so cool. We can't wait. We're hoping to see everybody in October. That's the plan. So for my dad's 80th birthday. So, yep.
That's
Hopefully
awesome.
everybody can go.
Yeah.
That is great. Sorry, Donya, I didn't want to cut. I didn't want to cut you off there.
No, I'm not cutting. No, go ahead, because I saw you wanted to ask a question.
No, you go ahead. I'm gonna follow up with something different.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess my next thing was, once you met your aunts, and as you were going along, at one point you met a brother, and then you met another one, but they look so much alike.
They
Mhm.
did.
I remember that. So how, what's your relationship with them? How are things going with them? And do they have children that are your age, Leland?
So no, the only cousins that there are the two that I met. But they are just fantastic people.
Yeah.
They are so fun to be around. And when we were, coming up the driveway to meet Craig, it was like, wait, we already met him.
Like, why is
Mhm.
he here?
Why is he here? And
You know how sometimes they do that though on the episodes where they have someone come in,
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, well, that's kind of strange that they have us meet him first because we already met him. And then we're like, wait, he does look a little different.
Yeah.
As he got closer.
Yeah, exactly. But they could be twins for
They
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, they're so cool. They're all, I mean, they're brothers, so it's not like,
They talk every week.
we talk every week.
It's not like they're gonna talk about boys or
yeah. So, but yeah, we'll like I'll find a meme and send it to them, or like birthdays, definitely Mother's Day. They reached out and wished me a happy Mother's Day. Yeah, they're cool. They're really sweet, and it was really fun because after every one of their episodes, I would call them or text them, and just tell them how handsome they were, and just, that they did a good job. And because it is a little intimidating when you have all those cameras staring at you and, you can't look at them, but yeah, they're all really cool.
That's
So
awesome.
you guys mentioned the competition. I'm gonna say you guys, and for the benefit of the audience, before the contestants on the show get the address of the relative that they're going to meet that day, they have to do a competition. And it's all part of the timing about who wins at the end of the day. So every episode there's a competition that needs to be done. I thought you guys were real troopers. I could tell you weren't exactly fans of doing the competition. But
some of them were okay. Yeah, some of them we struggled with.
Yeah. It was hot. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah,
it was like
hot.
Usually they're in like a big field and there's no shade. And yeah, it was that kind of a heat wave at the end of last summer. So yeah, it was just
it was a little rough. Yeah.
And we did it seemed like a lot of the competitions, some of them in past seasons they change them up, so that there's trivia or something else, and this time it was a lot of running.
Yes,
so, it was very physical. This season was very physical.
Very physical. So
there's nets, a lot of nets, a lot of balls or projectiles. And funnily enough, and it was great for you guys considering you come from plumbing backgrounds. The one that you just knocked it out of the park with.
We did notice that when we saw the show, we were like, what? We didn't get a mallet.
Yeah, everybody else got a mallet to tap it into place, and we didn't.
Oh, y'all didn't get a mallet?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and
we didn't know.
The problem with that one was that all of the pieces were, obviously the clear pipe was not 3D printed, but all of the fittings were 3D printed, and in the sun they had kind of melted and shrank. And so they didn't want to go on, and so we're trying to push them into place, and that's why we had a couple of leaks. But
we were like, that is so embarrassing. We would not have leaks in the real life. Okay. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. So that's why I told Leland, I'm like, okay, let me, press them together as best I can. You just, do your part, and I'll go and use my big hands and
fix them.
But yeah, we did our best. But no, they were fun. The challenges were really fun. I mean, I got to play Plinko.
That's her favorite.
To say that,
yeah.
I wasn't on I wasn't on Price is Right, but still, it was awesome.
So let me ask you: there was one moment where you guys just kind of got frustrated. And I was the whole time when I was watching. I'm telling you, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you watched the prior shows that we've done with Joni and Kaylee and Uncle Dan and everybody, but I talked throughout the entire show. I'm in my room. I'm either in my room or in my living room, and I'm by myself, and I'm talking like somebody's sitting right beside me. So when you guys started kind of getting frustrated, I was like, I'm doing like this. No, none of that right now. No argument. So why were you guys so frustrated? What made you more frustrated? What happened?
Yeah.
When I get tired, I get frustrated.
They didn't show that part very well. They showed
Yeah.
me more frustrated, but I was frustrated because she was being so grouchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we were real tired because it's like
Yeah.
15-hour days, and
Oh.
it's so, you're in front of a camera the entire time, and you don't really get very much time to yourself. And so, yeah, it was a lot, but she also ran 2 stop signs. So
Okay, but I have to say, one, it was only one day that I ran stop signs. And they played it out like it was 2, but it was only 1. And 2, the stop sign was in the weirdest spot. Like it was in the middle of the road with no like lines or anything.
Oh
So
wow.
and
I
then
saw it.
No, I'm on mommy's side.
I'm also looking for addresses.
I am on your side, Jen. I'm on mommy's side. Mommy
Oh,
stick
man.
together, plus we're the same age. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm on your side.
That's right. I was really focused on the address. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Anyway. But yeah, so that's all.
Yeah.
That was it. That was pretty much the extent. We didn't really argue.
Yeah.
Argue.
Well, and that's the
very
thing
much.
is that we're so alike that a lot of the time we don't get along.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
before the show, I have one cousin that I am close with, and he was like, how much do you think you and your mom are gonna fight on the show? And I was like,
we didn't though.
hopefully not a lot, but
I know. I was
Oh
worried.
no. Well, that's because you guys were surrounded by consistent and constant love.
That's
Yeah.
They
right.
had no choice but to just consistently be like, this is what we're gonna do, and this is the direction we're gonna go. So with that being said, did your bond change a little?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but we work together. So, we if we have an issue, it's like a 2-minute thing.
Yeah.
And then we're back to best friends
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, of course, it did grow. It did.
Yeah.
And just trusting each other on different things and encouraging each other. I mean, Leland doesn't play basketball. I haven't played basketball
No.
in years and years and years. And so, I mean, just, having to work together, even more focused on the challenges. That was really fun. And yeah,
I was hoping for trivia.
I
I don't do sports. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm good.
Yeah.
I do trivia.
After having 4 kids, my memory is shot. And so please, no trivia, please. I mean, that's why we were like, I was like, oh, maybe they'll do the Constitution. Maybe they'll do like, I don't know, something about the White House. Maybe they'll do something about the Navy or,
the whole
Yeah,
Constitution.
So, yeah, we learned a
Y'all
lot about
learned the whole Constitution?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did. And so she was reading it, while we were driving. And so that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That we did nothing on it. But we were ready. But
We were
ready,
so
just in
ready.
case.
we were ready, and I remember nothing.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to
was
say
a
that
lot of
actually watching the show, people probably don't realize the kind of pressure that you're under on a day-to-day basis because you're
Yeah.
together for what, 10 to 12 days? Because there's the 10 days of filming, there's the pre-stuff that you're doing. You, as you said, you get no privacy. You're in each other's company and like the most closest proximity possible.
Mhm.
So you're driving. Driving is stressful. You don't have GPS. Maps are difficult to get a hold of. So you have all of that. Then you're dreading probably the competition because you don't know what's going to be facing you when you get there, then getting through that, then meeting someone that you just don't know. You've never met them before. You don't even know who you're meeting. That's a lot. That's really, really
And then very little sleep. Yeah.
Too. Yeah. That.
Yeah. And then our tummies, like we just get,
Really nervous.
just who are we going to meet today?
Like,
You
they
know,
showed
and-
us saying a prayer before meeting Dale, but we said a prayer every day.
Yeah.
You know, and multiple prayers throughout the day. It was like, you know, please help us get through this, you
Yeah.
know, help us to be able to find our family's house and you know, in a timely manner. But
yeah.
and we were blessed immensely.
And I had hurt my knee, you know, my knee started acting up. And so I was just really worried, you know, getting in and out of the car and running so much. And, but yeah, so we said lots of prayers, and we were definitely more blessed because I was able to run and I shouldn't have been able to. So,
Yeah.
So, for anyone sitting and listening to the show or watching the show on demand, who may be on the fence about trying to find their bio family, or even applying for the show, what would be your advice? Would you encourage them to do it?
Do it.
absolutely.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Do it now. You know, you don't know if you're gonna, you know, run out of time. You don't know if people are gonna start, you know, passing away. You don't know. You know, there's no hurt in trying to find your family. You know, maybe it goes wrong. Maybe you don't like the person that you meet. Cool. You don't talk to him, you know, but what are you know, there's so much that you could lose if you wait or if you don't do it at all.
And maybe that it's one person that you find that, you know, you're not really connected to, or, you know, that there's just issues there. But there's a whole lot. I mean, in one meeting, we met 3 aunts, you know, so that would, I think back and I think what a shame it would have been had I not gone through with it, because what a loss, you know. I have all this love, and I'm talking like since we've been home, people, you know, other family members have reached out to me through Messenger, and just, you know, when my sister and Shauna and Michelle were here, just FaceTiming other relatives and getting to meet them, you know. I mean, it's just like on and on and on. So don't hesitate at all. And maybe you won't get on the show, but at least try, you know. It's worth it. I mean, we never thought we would get on at all. We had all kinds of stuff stacked against us, you know. So it's so worth it. It really is.
The Krista trial makes me cry. She
one of our
said she
audience
agrees.
members,
She said she found her father and he died the day after she flew back home. That's
Oh,
girl.
Congratulations. That's so
Yes.
awesome. What a blessing.
Yeah.
He was holding on just for you.
Exactly. Well, and with one of the relatives that Gabby met, she met, was it her aunt or her grandma? It was her grandma. And she died 12 days after they finished filming.
Yeah. So,
but she was holding on to meet her.
Oh my God. That's crushing me.
Yeah. So, you know, life is short. Don't wait. You just never know what can happen. And so, you know, and I don't know. I think about every one of them that we met individually and how sad it would have been had we not had the opportunity and have them in our life. So,
and I'm going to say that's one of the beauties of the whole show, all 15 seasons, is there is a literal journey. You're flying, you're driving, you're doing, you know, doing all of these crazy things, but it's also a personal journey because you're learning about yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh, that has been, I mean, just like, okay, so my whole life, my nose, I have never really liked my nose, you know? I mean, you know, I have this, I don't know, I just haven't. I mean, most people don't like their nose, but anyway, I don't like it, right? You have a cute nose, but I don't, you know, necessarily. So, but after I have met my family, my whole outlook on my nose has changed because I look like these beautiful, wonderful people. And I wouldn't change that for anything. I'm
Right.
so grateful for that. And
Oh,
I have this history of people who look like me. And
Well, and she didn't have that
I
before.
love it.
Even I'm the one that kind of looks the most like her.
Mhm.
yes.
But
My son, yeah, my oldest son too.
I still take after my dad in a lot of things,
Mhm.
and so, and none of us have the same nose. None of us have, a lot of the same features, but she was able to find
Mhm.
people that look a lot. I mean, you look at
Yeah.
Shauna and it's like you're looking at the
Mhm.
same person.
Or just
Right.
like all my aunts and my dad and my brothers, we all have the same hand. I don't know why I got the boy
You
hands.
have your dad's face.
I'm very grateful for them. They pick up lots of stuff. In fact, the other day I picked up 2 cans of, I don't know, olives or something. And she's like, you can grab 2 of those at a time. I'm like, yeah, I told you. It's awesome.
Well, and she plays the piano too, and she
Yeah, I
can
can
reach.
I can reach it.
Yeah.
Stuff.
You
So
have your dad's face. You
yeah,
look
I
exactly like
do.
100%.
And why
yeah,
would I
you
change
look
that? I mean, I
no?
think that's so cool. And then my oldest son, he's so awesome. He has high functioning autism, and so he gets so excited about all these things. And so the other day, I mean, we always joke about because he can grow a little bit of stubble. He's 25, and
It's very patchy.
yeah, it's very patchy. We're always like,
It's
you need
not,
to shave,
it's
Brandon.
not cute.
It's not. That's not cool. But then we got home from the show, and he had a little bit of a beard and it was red. And I was like, oh my gosh, after talking, because we stayed up late that night talking to my dad. He showed us all kinds, he had a suitcase full of all kinds of stuff. And that was one of the things is his hair was red. He had a red beard. And so now
Wow.
my son just thinks it's so cool because he looks like his grandpa. Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
that's like,
Now
and
I'm
that is
like,
a perfect
yeah,
way.
don't shave it. Don't shave it.
That
I still want him
that
to.
I like it. I like it now. I don't know. It's
that is the
okay.
perfect note to end the show on. I can't believe the
Yeah.
hour has gone by that quickly. That was
It
I
really
wonderful.
know.
did.
Thank you guys so much for having
Yeah,
us.
Don't
This
hang
is
thank
up with
you.
us though. Don't hang up. So we want to thank everybody for joining us and just listening with talking with Team Green. This was a really good show. I really, really enjoyed it. This was a straight conversation. I'm so happy for everything that you guys have gone through and what you're going to go through. I'm praying for the best and everything. With that being said, we will see you guys next week. I'm Donya.
I'm Brian, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
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 You guys hang on.